Has anybody ever used too much philosophy and got lost what they were trying to point they were trying to make?
Yeah.
In what way did Tai Chi change your perception of life and life applications?
As far as perspective on life, Tai Chi was really weird for me when I was studying with you all, and the fact that I never really felt like I learned anything. It was more of a remembering process. There's just certain things within the philosophy and even the motions where, like when I'm on and everything's working out, it just makes sense. You know, it's not. It's kind of weird to explain, but for me, it was, you know, like you were saying with the previous question, Eureka. You know, it felt more like that for me when learning. Like, oh, this is a natural progression for how this situation should be.
One of the greater concepts I've learned is of yin and yang, a balance of things. As at a younger age, before I knew Tai Chi, it was a very narrow, simple focus that this is what I want, and I'm going to go and try to get it. And it was a direct line, regardless of what obstacles came in the way or sacrifices I would need to make. With the balance of yang and yin coming into play, it helped me realize that not the best path may not be straightforward. There are many options out there. Sometimes you have to lean this way, sometimes you have to lean this way. Eventually, you become a flowing river, and you eventually lead into a great big vastness of everything. I know it's a very floofy answer, but as far as how has it changed my perception is to be able to look at things in many perspectives instead of just the original one that I had.
That was everybody's picking on Trish. Something about her glasses. I don't know. But I certainly remember that was a huge issue with me because I was very, very focused, very narrow. I had that hard time with the analogy as far as seeing periphery. And that is probably one of my main things that I try no longer to look here, but to look here. And it's really probably more self-reflection as far as how many times I really miss stuff is really kind of, and of course, not just for myself, but I mean, I probably pay more attention of others missing stuff too. It's like, did you not see the snake? Or Trisha's new glasses? Or Katie's red hair?
In early 2000, I got quite sick, and my infection that I had spread up towards my brain and down towards my heart. While I was in ICU, I was intubated, I was on oxygen, had those hose on that keep your heart pumping and everything. And they had essentially signed, you know, they said that I wasn't going to live through it. And I remember having some awareness that I was breathing. And I continued to think of our group and seeing us in our circle doing the form. But I think that awareness and that concept of basically humanity, of coming together for wellness and for just health, was something that kind of helped me realize that this was something that was essential, and it kind of gave me something to hold on to. So while I was not able to necessarily physically move, just my mind was working, my spirit was working, and it kind of brought me back. When I was able to physically start moving again, it made me really value how much just being able to touch others, how much that meant. How could I help other people in wellness, in spirit? So that's a very broad example, but
It kind of kept you grounded.
yes, it did. It really helped me connect with others on a different level.
My perception changed as when I came to Tai Chi, had a bad back, I was wearing a lift, there were all these problems. But using Tai Chi helped me to change how I viewed my body. I was able to get rid of the lift and to improve my back and build it better and stronger. My perspective changed in how I was able to deal with other people. It gave me space to make choices, to respond, to react. So that those two things are pretty big for me, doing tension.
How long did it take for the lift portion to finally be comfortable?
So it was pretty bad going into it, which is what brought me to Tai Chi in the first place, was what I was doing wasn't working. I was seeing a chiropractor a whole bunch. But after about 3 sessions and sort of homework assignments, things were improving and I was able to get rid of the lift. There was sort of a jumping off point where it's like, I just got to trust this process. Got rid of the lift and continued to work. And then, 2 or 3 more sessions after that, like, oh, yeah, worked.
And then for just dealing with other people, was that more from just having the ability to teach in that environment, or kind of the studies that kind of gave you the ability to deal with public?
Well, it was kind of what everybody was talking about as far as recognizing where people were at, listening and hearing what they were saying, and trying to find ways to help and assist. Whereas before I would just be like, oh, well, that sucks. But now it was like, oh, okay, but you know what, let's think about that. Maybe this posture would. So it was one of those things where it gave me that ability to not just be like, that's not good, as opposed to, that's not good, what can we do about it?
The end result, this sucks, but
Yeah.
let's figure out what we can do.
So focusing on a solution, not just the problem.
Eastern versus Western.
As far as like perceptions for life, for me, it was with breathing techniques and some of the things that we do. I was visiting with a cardiologist and they were saying, oh, you should do these things, and started giving me these exercises. And it took a minute, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is the breath that we would do in Tai Chi or Qigong. And, to realize like, we might not have had the words, hundreds and hundreds of years ago to explain what it was doing in the way we talk about it medically today. But just that perception of, it was doing something, even if they couldn't say, oh, this is vasovagal stimulation or whatever it might be. So that was what really changed my perceptions of, old and new or east and west, or however you want to look at it. It was humbling, but also, really interesting.
Yeah, I had some back issues as well. I went in thinking I was very physically fit.
Or you're doing the parkour over the rooftops?
No, I stopped at that point. I had an incident. That was
Like,
oh yeah.
you got injured?
Yeah. But it was in a gym, like I took a video of it. It's real funny. It's not going to be easy. But I remember early on, I think we were picking fruit. And I think you said, just lift your leg. And I couldn't. And then it washed all of that preconception into a series of moments that made me challenge a worldview and ask the question, maybe life is hard for everybody else. Maybe it's not as simple as we think it is. And maybe sometimes the things that we ask people to do that we think they should do really are a challenge for them. So how do we help?
I mean, you've always been pretty insightful, because you had an early history of other health issues. So, I always thought you were pretty insightful, especially when it came to, very much as far as like how to approach somebody and, get rid of the pity potty. Let's figure out, let's clean yourself off, and how do we do this? So, you've always viewed, in my view, you've always had that kind of insight. But was there anything specific that, you said the picking fruit, so
Well, in one of the exercises, walk down the stairs. I can walk downstairs. I can walk upstairs. I can really walk up those stairs sideways. But that wasn't the point. So when it was a confrontation with the reality, it wasn't about lifting the leg. It was about the formula towards a purpose. It wasn't about walking downstairs. It was about straightening out one's hips so that the right side of the back would pop up a 1/4 inch It's a plant for weird growth to the time. So all of that was finding the balance that I thought was there, but that balance wasn't simply